Hi Pisces, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading for the week of November. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing really well. This reading is for any sun, moon, or rising Pisces. We will take a look at the cards. We'll get a sense of the awareness for the week, guidance, and possible outcomes. I will also choose a couple of oracle cards for additional information. So let's just get started with your reading. Okay, so at your current position where you are right now, you are thinking about your intuition. You are diving deep within yourself. This is the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is about tapping into your inner consciousness, your subconscious, and looking within the well of information that you have within. And so this is a call to you, a call to action, to pay attention to your dreams, to pay attention to your intuition, your hunches, listen to your gut, listen to your psychic side, and look for messages. With the High Priestess, there's a sense of mystery and perhaps of secrets. So maybe there's something that you're keeping in reserve that you're not willing to share with others. Maybe you have hidden talents, hidden abilities. Maybe you have some struggles that you are just suppressing and keeping very private. So when we see the High Priestess in a reading, it's a suggestion to be passive, to take time out of your busy schedule and to meditate, to reflect, maybe to pray, maybe to go for a walk, but there's a sense of just being and listening to your inner guide, trusting your instinct, and looking below the surface. Often the most interesting things and the most depth that we have are what we keep to ourselves. So again, intuition in November, instinct, inner guide, listen to your dreams, look for the messages. What's crossing you is the Knight of Cups. And this Knight of Cups is dreamy. He is intuitive. He's loving, romantic. Maybe not the best person for follow-through, but his heart is in the right place. And so this Knight, the Knight of Cups, is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And so perhaps you're going to be meeting someone, going on a date, having someone within your circle, someone youthful. It also could be energies that you would benefit from, of perhaps being more of a romance person, someone who is really generous with spirit. There's also an intuitive component to this Knight of Cups, as well as someone who's in tune with himself emotionally. Again, may not have the best follow-through, but heart is in the right place. In your foundation is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups relates to taking a trip down memory lane, to nostalgia, to thinking back to a time that made you feel happy, that made you feel that sense of carefree wonder as a child, something that just brings back fond memories. And so with this Six of Cups, maybe you're meeting someone from your past. Maybe it's random, or maybe it's planned, or you've been thinking about them so much you reach out by email. You can also see in this illustration that the older child is giving the younger child a cup with flowers in it. This card also speaks to being gentle and kind in spirit, and being thoughtful, and of giving of yourself to others. So with the Six of Cups, nostalgia, tripping down memory lane, thinking of the past, it makes you feel good, whether it's a relationship from the past, a time in your life that brought you joy. The thing to think about is not to get hung up, not to let it stop you from evolving, put it in its right place. And again, it could be something as simple as spending time with children, or, you know, having a happy hour, meeting up with some old friends, you know, driving by your old neighborhood. So, interesting for your foundation. In your recent past, we have the Lovers. And these Lovers are kind of, they're just open. Look at their position of how they're standing. It's very open and it's very trusting. And so when you meet someone who is a potential serious relationship, deep love, respect, harmony, when you are able to be yourself and when you are able to be honest and open and receiving love, you know, this bodes well that this is the potential for a strong relationship, a favorable, positive relationship, romantic, passionate. Certainly could be that. We have the Knight of Cups. Maybe you're going to be having a relationship here with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is Lovers is Gemini. But with the Lovers, there's a sense of a decision that something is going to be making you think about where it's going. Could be that maybe you're going to go from dating several people to dating just this person and making it exclusive. This doesn't have to be romantic. It could also be a very close bond of friendship, a relationship with a business person. It's just someone that you really click with and that you understand and that you enjoy spending time and working with. So this relationship has potential from emotional depth and emotional depth and spiritual and physical connection. You just are enjoying each other's company. What is crowning you is the Four of Swords. And in this illustration, we see our warrior laying down on the slate or on the slab of marble, sword below, swords above. And this is a time for you that you're going to have to think about in November, taking a moment away from your situation so that you can rest, so that you can restore, recover, and you can come back perhaps fresh to a situation, that you can look at it from a new perspective. This is a card that's telling you you need the rest, otherwise you're going to wear yourself out, and it's going to be to your detriment rather than to your benefit. So this is a card of taking a moment out, and whether through prayer, through meditation, through nature walks, or just time spent alone away from a busy, chaotic life, to, again, be passive, similar to the High Priestess here, which is this passivity and reflection. The passivity here, and then, you know, it's going to restore your energy to go back into the situation. It doesn't mean that the situation is going away. It just means that you are giving yourself appropriate rest and recovery. In your near future, we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords has been coming up in quite a few of these readings. This is a card of worry, of anxiety, maybe of guilt, of insomnia. And you get a sense here that it's just waking up at night, dreading and thinking about the situation. It can lead to hopelessness, can lead to sadness. So you have to find a way to minimize this stress. And, you know, maybe you don't go from a leap from going from anxiety and stress to joy in one day. It takes incremental steps. So perhaps if you talk to someone, get things off your chest, that might be a small step that you could take in order to help alleviate this feeling of concern. So, you know, at your heart, you're doing a lot of intuitive thinking. You have this Knight of Cups within your midst who's either bringing you an offer of dating, relationship, and emotional connection. You're thinking of the past, and maybe this Knight is someone representing a past love. because this whole little thing here is about love. And the Six of Cups, nostalgic over love, this Knight coming in, the lover sign of making decisions, of having a significant emotional connection with someone. And then the Four of Swords is maybe needing a break and having just to kind of restore and to recalibrate, to think of things. And then you have the Nine of Swords, anxiety. You could be worried about the Knight, you could be worried about exes, you could be worried about the relationship and hoping it's going to go one way, hoping it's going to go your way. So where you are right now is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is always an interesting card because we see this finely dressed merchant holding the globe, has one hand on a wand. He's on his nice patio of probably his nice home, looking out over the water into the mountains. It looks like he's contemplating. He's contemplating choices. And again, decisions come into play when we see twos. And this fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this Two of Wands is about making the decision to follow your passions, your desires, to create, to build something new, even to travel, to take trips. You're weighing that. And maybe you're thinking of moving on. Maybe you're thinking of moving on from a relationship. Maybe you're thinking of moving on from a career. But these are things that you're just thinking about and ultimately will require a decision. It also could be exploring into, it's making a decision to explore and deepen a relationship, of taking that risk, of taking that chance, of leaving. Sometimes it's leaving the safety of singledom and moving on as a couple. That's a big decision in life. And again, in your environment, we have another two card. We have the Two of Pentacles, and this is about juggling. And it's about finding balance in a busy, chaotic life. Often this suggests paying attention to your finances, that somehow you're trying to juggle your finances and keep track of everything. But I have a sense of between your sense of intuition in yourself, your worry, and relationships, that you are trying to find the balance. You're trying to make a decision. Sometimes this Two of Pentacles in a shade meeting can relate to someone who's juggling relationships. And with this offer of what's crossing you, this Knight of Cups, and with this potential of nostalgia of maybe someone from your past, maybe there's a sense of juggling there and making decisions. You might have a decision about who you want to be with. The good news is in your hopes and fears, you have the Ace of Swords. And this Ace of Swords relates to clarity, clear thinking, clear communication, looking at an issue objectively rather than emotionally. So you're using reason to work through your situations. So this is a gift or a blessing from the universe. You can see the universe is just handing you that sword. Slice through the nonsense, slice through the issue. Look at all sides of the issue before making a decision. Use your objective powers before you make a choice of who or what you're going to do. And these twos are very powerful right within here. Two twos, and then this Ace of Swords is to be very mindful of what you sign, what you say, how you deliver the message. Are you going to be coming off blunt, or are you going to, just state the facts? And I think that that's important because in your outcome we have justice. And justice is about karma. It's about examining your past actions and kind of tallying up of how you've gotten there. There's an awful lot of cause and effect with justice. And Justice, she's also holding a sword. And it has the scales of justice here. When this turns up in a reading, we may find that we've been treated unfairly, and that something in here is going to be an unfair situation. You may be the person also who is not being fair. I have a sense, though, that this is all related to your decisions, and you're going to be thinking a lot about people and their actions and how they interact with you. And if you're in a relationship that is causing you worry and stress, you've got to do something about it. Relationships should be sources of joy. This decision making with the lovers, with an ex or with the past popping up, the potential offering of a romantic, dreamy person, and then you have these choices here of juggling your life. Everything, the money, the responsibilities, the relationships, finding the balance, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting having to juggle. Causes stress. And then this Ace of Swords comes in and saying here, you need to cut through this nonsense. You need to make a decision. You need to make a fair decision when it comes to your relationship. And the only thing that I'm getting is that if you're seeing someone and if you don't feel it's exactly right, then be honest with that person, because you're not helping yourself. You're not helping yourself, and you're not helping them. So this is an interesting reading because it's really choices and relationships and how we approach them intuitively, in addition to needing objective thinking and fairness, of bringing in the issue of fairness and how you make decisions. So let's deepen the reading. Let's take a look at love a little bit more. Okay. Oh my goodness. The past. Though through the power of love, you release any stagnant situations or energy in order to transform your heart space. And that really does give us more information. It gives us more information when it comes to the Six of Cups. You might be hung up on someone from your past that is not allowing you to get to a great, healthy relationship that has emotional connection, emotional consequences of a long-term relationship. And this being stagnant and being stuck with someone from the past causing you to worry. I think your choices are relating to who you need to pick, and to be fair. Be fair to yourself. Be objective. Be clear in your thinking. Think of the reasons and think of the areas of your life that will make you happy and that will be satisfied from a relationship. Make a checklist. And does the person, whoever you're picking, does it reflect that list? Are the qualities that they have and that they bring to the relationship on that list? So let's close the reading and pick another theme card, or perhaps a practice area card. Sensitivity. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. Well, sensitivities goes right to the heart of the High Priestess. Intuitiveness, trusting your gut, listening to your psychic self, your dreams, your inner voice. Sensitivities is being loving and kind in relationships. It's also taking the best of this card, which is not being hung up on the past, but it's being gentle and considerate and kind to all. Sensitivities of justice, of fairness, of equality, saying and doing the right thing. Quite a reading for you. I hope that you will let me know how it goes for you in November. I'd be very curious to see what your experiences are in that month. So I wish you the very best in November. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, or comment. It's a great way to stay connected and to show support for the channel. Again, please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And thank you for your time in watching this reading and tarot advice. And thank you again, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye-bye.